This is the new Honda ZRV, a brand new model for Honda in Europe. It slots between the HRV and the larger CR-V. It's a compact SUV to rival the likes of the Nissan Qashqai, the Kia Sportage, the Ford Kuga, the Mazda CX-5. There's lots of them, but of course it does it Honda style. This is a brand known for its quality and engineering. It's also now hybrid only. This is a bit more expensive, however, than its rivals, so priced between about 55 and 60,000 euro. But is it just better than everything else? Well, that's what I want to find out in this video. When it comes to styling, I think it's lacking a little bit of the originality of the Honda Civic, for instance, which has that edgy, sporty styling that's evolved over the years. This is a bit softer and rounder. I suppose it is an SUV after all. It's got that little bit of height, though it is lower than a CR-V. This front end is a bit reminiscent of the Ford Kuga, I think. That big gaping black grille. Now it does get these vertical bars on this elegance model. If you go for the sport model, it gets a honeycomb pattern. That's the one I think I would go for. And then a top of the range advance model. But they all come on 18-inch alloy wheels. There's about 380 litres of boot space. By no means class leading, but it's about the same as your average hatchback, so it's not bad at all. It kind of depends on your needs. It's got this wide opening, low sill, bit of underfloor storage, and you can also let down the rear seats. Honda seems to have prioritised passenger space here over boot space, so there is loads and loads of legroom and headroom. This middle seat is a bit on the narrow side, so I think it will be more comfortable for two rather than three across the rear bench. But you do have an armrest with cup holders. There's a pocket in the back of one of the seats, not both, not sure why that is. There's blinds here on the windows, space for a bottle in the doors, there's air vents, but no USB ports, which does seem a little bit mean considering the price of this car. But otherwise it's very comfortable and it's very well finished as well. The ZRV gets a very stylish and upmarket cabin, so it does have a very nice fit and finish. Lots of this soft touch paneling on the dashboard and doors. There's this mesh pattern here where the air vents are. There are harder plastics down here, but you have this softer material around the center console. And altogether it does feel very nice. There's no squeaks or rattles. Fabric seats as standard, but leather is available as you go up the trim levels. Also a leather wrapped steering wheel. You get the digital dials, this touchscreen as well with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and physical controls here and buttons to adjust the ventilation, so that's all good. There's cup holders, there's also a little tray here. This is your drive-by-wire gear selector, which is actually very easy to use. Parking brake, driving modes, and also a hill descent control as standard. Space here, and that's where the wireless charging pad would be if it was fitted. And then there's more space under here. Honda's expertise lies in building engines. They are an engineering company. They build everything from cars to motorbikes, engines for boats, generators, water pumps, lawnmowers, lots of stuff. They also have some experience in hybrid. So they actually brought the first ever hybrid to Europe. It was the Honda Insight back in 1999. It literally went on sale just a few months ahead of the Toyota Prius, which had been on sale in Japan since about 97, but didn't get to Europe till about the summer of the year 2000. So they just got there before Toyota did, though Toyota is far more famous for hybrids than what Honda is, particularly this side of the world. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is that Honda has a lot of expertise in hybrid, and they are one of the early pioneers of this technology. So here we are in the new ZRV. It uses a 2-litre hybrid, just like what's in this new Civic. It uses the Atkinson combustion cycle. It's 4-cylinder engine at its heart. There's 2 electric motors and also a small capacity battery. And it works a bit like a series hybrid and also a parallel hybrid. So the engine can work as a generator to power the electric motor to turn the wheels. But in motorway driving, for instance, the engine can actually drive the wheels if that's more efficient way to run things. So it's a very clever hybrid. It also has this kind of simulated gear changes, which is absolutely brilliant because it's an eCVT. But this gives you the feeling that you're just driving a very powerful petrol engined car, but you've got this brilliant efficiency. So Honda quote about 5.7 litres per 100 kilometres, and it's very realistic. I'm at the moment at about 5.9, but I actually have seen 5.7 and a bit lower as well. I haven't seen over 6 litres really. Motor tax is about €270 per year. You've got 184 horsepower, 315 Newton meters of torque, so quite a lot of torque for a hybrid, and 0 to 100 is 7.8 seconds. So this is actually definitely one of the best hybrid cars that I've ever driven. The way it performs, it's so natural, it's so responsive, there's no screaming from the engine when you put your foot down. It's just really brilliant, really well engineered, and look, that's a characteristic of Honda. They have this pedantic pursuit of perfection. That's what marks them out. You've also got these paddles behind the steering wheel. That's to adjust the regenerative braking. So if you're going down a hill, you can actually get that stronger regen effect as well, instead of using the foot brake, which is quite cool. I really like that. You've got drive modes. There's economy, there's normal, there's sport, and then there's also a snow mode as well for a little bit of extra traction in those conditions. So it's a very pleasant car to drive. It's comfortable and it's refined as well in terms of how the hybrid performs, but there is a little bit of road noise there. When it comes to the handling of the car, it's a tall SUV, so there is this little bit of lean in corners. It's not entirely as fun to drive as, let's say, a Ford Kuga, but it's very good, it's very secure and stable, nicely weighted steering and a good driving position as well. So there's a lot going for this Honda. The only problem is it just seems very expensive for our market. I would say it's about €10,000 too expensive really to be taken seriously or to make an impact in the market. You've got so many competitors. It is a lovely car. It's a brilliant hybrid. It's such a good hybrid. It's the drivability of it, and efficiency is good as well. Not quite as efficient as, let's say, a Toyota hybrid, I would say, like a CHR, but the drivability is so much better. It's fun to drive, it's sporty. So there's a lot to like about this car. It's just a tad too expensive. So that's all from the cabin of the new Honda ZRV. You can read more over on changinglanes.ie. I'll let a link in the description below the video. So thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.